Jaguar introduced the XJ series in 1968. It would effectively replace their entire sedan lineup, and it was the last car to be designed by company founder William Lyons. It was 190 inches long on a 109-inch wheelbase, weighing 3,600 to 3,700 pounds. Dubbed the XJ6, power came from either a 2.8-liter or 4.2-liter straight six, with 147 to 184 horsepower net, or 182 to 245 horsepower gross, and suspension carried over from the earlier Mark Series cars. With the big six and an optional 5-speed manual, it could be a mid-16-second car, capable of speeds over 125 miles an hour. Prices started at around £2,200 in Europe, but U.S. models started at a more premium price, between $8,000 and $9,000. Starting in 1969, air conditioning became available, and a more posh version was offered as the new Daimler Sovereign, all but identical except the grille. The automatic transmission was upgraded for 1970 to improve shift quality and improve performance, although with fewer gears. Mid-1972 added a long wheelbase version, up to 194 inches long on a 113-inch wheelbase, adding nearly 100 pounds. Also new was a 5.3-liter V12, powering the XJ12, with 266 horsepower net, making it a high 15-second car with a top speed over 140. A facelift for 1973 gave it a trimmer grille and a raised bumper for a sleeker look. Changes were plentiful for 1975, starting with the base 6, which grew to 3.4 liters and 161 horsepower, but wasn't offered in the U.S. American versions got bigger bumpers, and the Big 6 was rated at 150 horsepower, and the 12 245. While in Europe, the 12 could be had in 250 to 285 horsepower tunes. The short wheelbase version was dropped, except on the new two-door XJC sedan, and there was a new XJS coupe, although based on the same platform, the XJS had its own styling, and was 192 inches long on a 102-inch wheelbase, or an inch longer than the XJC on a 6-inch shorter wheelbase, and it was only offered with the 12. Priced under $9,000, it was slightly cheaper than an XJ12, when the XJ6 was down to around $6,500. 1978 would be the final year of the XJC, and sedan names varied from market to market, and included XJ6, XJ12, XJ 3.4, XJ 4.2, XJ 5.3, and Daimler Sovereign, Double 6, and Vanden Plas, and a variety of combinations thereof. The car would receive a facelift for 1979, and although the changes were extensive, the difference to the look was subtle. It got a new roof with more glass area, while losing the wing windows, new door handles, and several updated revisions. Engines carried over, but the Big 6 and the V12 moved to fuel injection, bringing the 6 up to 202 horsepower, but the horsepower on the 12 was unchanged. In 1981, the XJS was updated, as was the V12, with the high-efficiency version improving mileage and increasing horsepower to 295, while Daimler models got upgraded interiors. And soon the Daimler Vanden Plas would come to the U.S. as a Jaguar, with even the Sovereign name transitioning to Jaguar in some markets by 1984. By this time, the XJS was being offered as a convertible as the XJSC, and with a 3.6-liter straight six with 225 horsepower. There was a new XJ sedan in 1986, which saw several upgrades, but the previous version would carry on as well. Offered as the XJ6 and Sovereign, the new version was roughly 2 inches longer, on the same 113-inch wheelbase, and weight was 2,800 to 2,900 pounds. The 6 came in a 165 horsepower 2.9-liter and 182 to 221 horsepower 3.6-liter for a 16-second quarter mile and a top speed over 140. 1988 saw the introduction of the Performance XJR version with a bigger 4-liter version of the 6 with up to 251 horsepower. A low 15-second car capable of 150 miles an hour. And similarly, the XJS got a performance version as the XJR-S, which included updated tires and suspension and got a bump to 318 horsepower, and included a Celebration Le Mans edition. The next year would see an increase to 6 liters and 328 horsepower, and the transmission was upgraded to shift faster for 155 miles an hour and a high 14-second quarter mile. It would then get a refresh for 1991, getting a cleaned-up look with flush-mounted glass, and the base engine would be upgraded to the 4-liter 6 with 219 to 223 horsepower the following year. 1993 added a sport package to the XJ6, which upgraded the wheels and tires, and the interior trim from walnut to rosewood. As the old model was discontinued, the XJ12 and Daimler 66 moved to the newer style, and there would be a longer 201-inch, 118-inch wheelbase version as the Majestic. In 1997, the XJS would be replaced by the XK8, and the XJ would be refreshed as the XJ8. Length was up slightly to 198 and 203 inches, with weight ranging from 4,000 to 4,100 pounds, while returning to a more classic look. Power came from a new line of V8s in similar sizes to the old 6s, of 3.2 and 4 liters, with 233 or 280 horsepower, making it a 15-second car capable of speeds over 150 miles an hour. And the XJR added a supercharger, raising horsepower to 360 for a mid-13-second car with a top speed around 170. There would be an all-new XJ for the 2003 model year. It was 200 to 205 inches long on a 119 or 124-inch wheelbase and weighed around 4,000 pounds. Engines included a 201 horsepower 2.7-liter diesel V6, a 237 horsepower 3-liter V6, a 261 horsepower 3.5-liter V8, and the 4.2-liter V8 in 296 or 395 horsepower supercharged versions. Now a low 13-second car with a top speed of 175 miles an hour. At this point, prices ranged from 40,000 pounds for a 3-liter XJ6 to 70,000 pounds for a Daimler Super 8. U.S. prices ranged from 60 to 75,000 to start. There was a minor facelift for 2005, and then another one in 2007. But things would change dramatically in 2010, as Daimler went away and Jaguar changed to new design language. Using a similar 119 and 124-inch wheelbase, length was up to 202 and 207. Packages included the Luxury, Premium, Portfolio, Super Sport, and Sentinel. The 3-liter twin-turbo diesel provided 271 horsepower, while the V8 was now up to 5 liters and 380 horsepower, or up to 510 horsepower in supercharged form, which meant it was now a mid-12-second car capable of 190 miles an hour. Features were upgraded in 2011 and included a new better-equipped Ultimate package. 2012 added a stop-start system, improving mileage of the V8, and there was a 3-liter supercharged V6 with up to 340 horsepower. The XJR returned for 2013, bumping output to 542 horsepower for an even 12-second quarter mile and 200 miles an hour. And all-wheel drive became an available option the next year. There would be a facelift again for 2016 that included new LED lights. But the market was changing, and the XJ was canceled after 2019, as the luxury market in Europe was shifting to electric SUVs. So as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment below and like and subscribe.